Hello, you awesome people, and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we will learn about Task Scheduler. I am sure if you are working as a system administrator, you have some basic awareness about Task Scheduler for sure. In Windows, it is called Task Scheduler, but the concept of Job Scheduler is available irrespective of what operating system you use, right? So if you already have worked on Task Scheduler, then you will get to know some more details about it through this lecture. And I would request you to watch it till the end and also let me know if I have missed something. If you have never worked on Task Scheduler, the lecture is going to be a lot of fun for you. Yeah. So here we go. So Task Scheduler comes by default in Microsoft Windows and it basically executes some certain action for you as per the condition you specify. The concept is as simple as that. It is a very old concept, probably older than before you and I born. Let's explore it in very minute detail and see what it has got to offer. Yeah. In order to open Task Scheduler, either we can go to this Windows button, click here and type Task Scheduler, and you can see this program over here, or there's a shortcut available to you. Go to Run and type task schd, which stands for scheduler.msc, and it will open Task Scheduler for you. You can see a lot of options in this left side, right hand side, in this menu bar. We will try to explore as much we can in this lecture. So one important thing is, if you right click here and you can connect to another computer as well. So if you want to schedule some task on a different server within your domain, you need not to log in into that particular server and then schedule, but you can directly do it from this server also, right? This is my personal system, so I do not have any other computer in my domain. I can't connect basically, but this option is there over here, right? I choose not to connect. Moving on. So this side we can see all different schedules which are already there on the task scheduler. So they all have got some certain trigger and action accordingly. We can open some task from here and then explore it, but I guess there is more fun if we create our own scheduled task and then learn more details about it. So here we go. We have multiple options to create a new task. So we can go for this create basic task option. Basically this is guided and you just fill some details, choose to go to next. We do not get all advanced options over here, but some very frequently used options only, because we have selected a basic task creation. I just don't want to do anything, just launch a CMD and next, finish. And you can see my task is created over here, right? Or instead of doing this, what else I can do is create task, and then here I'll get all different options whatever is available in Windows task scheduler, right? I'll give name my scheduled task. Yes, as you can see in this screen, by default this task will execute through my own account, basically the account using which I have logged in into the system. But if we want to change it, we can do that and search some other user account and add that. So instead of running this task under my account, I can execute it through some other account as well. Of course, we'll have to pass the password. You can't simply use any other account, right? And it has to be in your domain. Okay. Then you can see two options over here. First is run only when the user is logged in. And second is user is logged in or not, you have to execute the task. So we can do it anyways. Whichever way we like, we can choose. Which option among these two you should choose? That depends on the nature of program you want to launch using this scheduled task, right? If we choose to run our task with highest privileges, then basically we are giving permissions to our scheduled task to even, in case of any conflict with another process in opening file or something like that, if it is needed to kill another process, it will continue with that permission we are giving to our task by allowing this, right? Okay, now let's take a look at other options what we have. So let's go to triggers, and here we can define the trigger point for our schedule task. So based on your requirement, you select from here, either you want to run it one time, daily, on weekly basis, or monthly basis. So if you see, there are a lot of options which were not available when we were creating schedule task using basic task option, right? Now you can even drill down to option like you want to execute some task only on Tuesdays, right? So you can go up to that much granularity level, right? All right, so I'll go with daily, and I want to repeat it like every 2 days, let's say. So basically every alternate day I want to execute some task. It could be a service restart, it could be anything. Up to here we have not defined what that task will be. We are just saying execute it on every second day, right? And then what time you want to do? So I'll go with 11 o'clock in the AM, 11 in the morning, right? So I'll go with 11 in the morning, right? So here you have defined that you want to execute the task every second day, but the day when it execute, if you want to execute it multiple times, let's say every 1 hour or every 10 minutes, like that, you can set the time over here. If the task is hung and it keeps on running for lot more time, then it is not good for a system health, right? So you can define the limit over here. Let's say more than 30 minutes if this task is taking, I do not want to continue with it, and kill the task, continue, so that your system's health is not spoiled because of this scheduled task, right? And next is expiry. So basically here you have set that okay, start on this day, every second day you want to execute all of these things. But if you do not wish to execute this task endlessly, you can set some expiry. For example, okay, in 2025, after that this task is not needed, so on that day expire it, and after that on second day this task will not execute. This is the meaning of this option basically, right? By checking this option, you are giving permission to the system to update this time to keep it in sync across time zones, right? And now what is this option? Enabled or not enabled? Basically, you are planning some task, let's say, but you do not want immediately that to happen. For example, this is the task, but I don't want it to execute from day after tomorrow itself. I want it to execute in next month. Until that time, I can keep the task in disabled state by not checking this. Alright, so we have learned a lot about scheduling, but tell me, do you always want to trigger your task based on the time schedule, or there could be some other trigger point as well? Well, we have multiple options over here. So if you want to execute some task as soon as a user logs in or as soon as the system is started, so these options also we can choose based on our requirement, right? So let's say as soon as your system is started, you want to do some cleanup and then start your application services, then this is the right option for you, not the time based scheduling, right? Similarly, if your system is idle, you want to send some email or you want to execute some other program to bring it in active state, something like that, you can execute that. And based on the option you select over here, you get different advanced settings to further fine tune your schedule task, right? Moving on. If you wish to execute your task upon some event that happen in your system, so you can go for on an event based triggering, right? So here you can choose what type of log you want and what is the source and event ID of your event. And whenever this particular event will occur, your scheduled task will get triggered automatically. If you don't wish to go for these default options, you can even customize this like this. In which log you want to search, what is the event ID, keyword, etc. you can define, and whenever this particular event occurs, your task will get triggered, right? I'm canceling this. So similarly, you can choose the right option from here and then define your trigger. I don't want to make it complicate here, so I'll go for a simple trigger like this: daily 11 o'clock, and that's it. I don't want to make it more complicated, right? Okay. Please note, your scheduled task can have multiple trigger point. It can be based on time schedule as well as event or any other option from here, right? So you can define as many triggers you want. All right. So your trigger is defined. Up to this point, we have defined the trigger and scheduled task will begin, but what action it will take, we have not defined. So basically your task is of no use up to this point. Let's see how we can define an action for this scheduled task. So go to actions and create a new action like this. Now, action could be start a program, send email, display message, etc. Send email message and display message options are deprecated. Basically, Microsoft want us to script whatever action we want to take, right? So these options are appreciated. So start a program we can pick, and then we can define what program we want to execute. It could be a direct reference to some application executable which is available in your system, or you can specify the path of your script that you want to execute based on the schedule. So let's see how we can set this up. All right. So now whenever I execute this batch file, it is expected to create this test.txt, right? In our case, this script is doing a simple job of creating this test.txt file, but in real time, it could be some complex script which does file purge operation or restart of some service or even more complex business operation, right? Concept is this gets triggered automatically. In our case, all we want is to get it triggered using our scheduled task, right? Okay, so I've deleted the file and I am specifying this simple script.bat over here. Sorry, let me browse to this location. So this PC, C drive, task scheduler, simple script.bat. Okay, I don't want to pass any argument. If your script is accepting any argument, you can pass it over here if needed, right? All right, we are done with a simple task scheduling. Let's see what advanced options we have over here. So if your system is idle for specified number of minutes, you can choose this setting and your task will automatically get triggered. And there are some other options which you can read and understand. Let's see what we have in the settings. Allow task to be run on demand. So if you check this option, basically what you are doing is allowing this scheduled task to be run on demand apart from the trigger which we have defined here, right? And there are some additional settings which you can choose as per your requirement, right? Let me click OK, and our scheduled task is created and scheduled as per our requirement, right? Please understand, once the scheduled task is created, there is no difference between this task and the basic task we created. There is no fundamental difference between them apart from the way of creation, right? So this task will automatically get executed as per the schedule we have defined, but I want to run it on demand right away. So let me run it and see in the path, and you can see this test.txt file is created over here. Well and good, right? So this would mean that automatically our scheduled task executed and created this file, right? Because this file will not get created unless we execute this script, right? Okay. So one way of looking at this is that, okay, this file is created means our scheduled task would have triggered and executed this batch file, which would have created this file. But what if this batch file doesn't create any output as such? What if it simply restart a service and then done? No output for you to check later. In that case, how you will validate if your scheduled task is running fine or no? So it's not that Microsoft has not thought about it, and they have indeed given an option of checking the history of task, right? So here we can see what time our task was registered, when it was started, completed, and all of these are available to us to be seen, right? So this way you can take a look at the history of all your tasks. Now you are able to see this Intel, Microsoft in this left hand side. What are these? Basically, these are folders which are containing your scheduled task. Why they have been created? So the way we place our files within directories for their better management, even you can place your scheduled task within folders so that it is easy for you to track them, right? So from here you can create new folder, and now if you create a new task, it will choose some action. Okay. Okay, so your task will appear over here instead of this default directory, right? So this way you can organize your task in a better way. All right, so let's say we created this schedule task with all different settings, and you have to replicate it on 10 different systems. You don't want to go through each of these settings and spend some 10-15 minutes on each system. So what is the better way of doing this is you can export the task like this. Save, and if you go there and open this, you are able to see your scheduled task in XML format, which can be later imported to any of your system. How you will import it? So go here and import the task. Just specify the path of your XML file, and automatically this task will created on any of the system where you want to import it, right? So you don't have to go through each of these tabs again and again. Alright, my dear friends. So in this lecture, we tried to cover task scheduler in detail. There are few more options which we have left, but they are self-explanatory. So I do not want to make the lecture too long and boring. So let's wind up the lecture here. With this knowledge, I am sure you will be able to make use of task scheduler in scheduling some of your workload. I hope you got something new to learn in this lecture, and if you did, please do let me know in the comment section. That's it for this lecture. Thank you for watching. Take care.